A choke DPF is not the problem.
If we can't eradicate the problem, then we manage it.
Let us try to understand that. Hello everyone, I am Deepak. Welcome to my channel. Today we will talk about the DPF issue which many cars are facing these days. In this video we will try to understand what is DPF, how it works, and what are the factors which will influence the proper operation of DPF. If we understand them, we will be able to better manage the situation. The runs to workshops will be reduced. A choke DPF is not the problem. It is actually a symptom of several underlying problems.
Let us watch this small animation of DPF. As you can see, exhaust gas enters from one side. It gets filtered out into the DPF where soot and ash is retained and the clean gas is released from the exhaust pipe to atmosphere. Here you can see fuel is being burnt in one of the units, and lube oil which is splashed onto the liner is also burnt and it is carried away with the exhaust. And here you can see this is the DPF unit. Before the DPF there is a connection, and after the DPF there is a connection which is going to a pressure transmitter which measures the pressure differential across the DPF. This gives an input to the ECU what action has to be taken depending on what is the reading of the differential. As the soot and ash starts accumulating in the DPF, it needs to be removed. This process is called regeneration. There are basically three ways a DPF can be regenerated: passive regeneration, active regeneration, and manual regeneration. Passive regeneration is done by the engine itself. When the conditions are met, engine will do it by itself. You do not need to do anything. Active regeneration, it can either be triggered by the engine, by the ECU, or you can force it. Also sometimes it is called forced regeneration. When everything else fails, then the DPF has to be removed and manually cleaned. That is called manual regeneration. This one is pretty straightforward. A good quality fuel will burn more efficiently, and if the quality of fuel is not good, it will have problem in atomization. It will not burn properly, and because of that more soot will be generated, and maybe it will have more ash content from the impurities in fuel. So what we can do about this, we can fix a petrol station where we are most of the time we are taking fuel from there as far as possible. But those who are doing highway runs, I do not know how they are doing this. You can put in comments how you are deciding which fuel station to refuel your car. Most of the car manufacturers recommend you to run your car at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour for about 30 minutes. And if you do so, the flow of exhaust gas and the temperature of exhaust gas is enough to burn the soot which is deposited in the DPF and expel it from the DPF. If your daily run is about 5 to 6 kilometers, maybe 10 kilometers from home to office and back, and that too in a city area where there is a high traffic density, and you do not expect to hit the highway quite often, like let's say every 10-15 days, and still if you are thinking of buying a car with diesel engine, I think you should reconsider your decision. I believe petrol or EV would be a better option for you. This one is interesting. Your engine oil also affects the DPF. Let's see how. In a 4-stroke engine,
diesel or petrol, the type of lubrication is called splash lubrication. So the engine oil during the strokes, it splashes on the liner, and in that process part of it gets burned and it ends up in the DPF. So the lube oil contains some additives which are added to improve its lubricating properties. There are many properties which are required in a lubricant, and when some of these additives, when they burn, they produce ash, and ash is the most difficult thing to remove. Normally you will not be able to remove that with active or passive regeneration. So stick to the grade of oil which is recommended by the manufacturer. The next important point is condition of your car's engine. There are various systems in a car's engine which work together to ensure a smooth and trouble-free ride for you, and some of these systems will directly or indirectly affect the DPF performance. We'll try to cover them one by one. I have noted them down so that I don't miss out on any of them. The first one is fuel system. Fuel quality we have already covered before. Once you have taken fuel, there is a filter in the fuel tank, and also there is a fine filter before it enters to the fuel system, before it goes to the fuel pump. If these filters are choked, then the fuel system will be starved of the required quantity of fuel, and then the system will have a bad combustion. Also, if the system is starved of oil, then let us say if your fuel tank has low oil level, some of the dirt may be carried over to the fuel pumps, and that can damage the high precision parts, and that will call for an early overhaul. So always keep at least half fuel in your fuel tanks. Do not let it go so much down. Next is air system, air intake system. If there are leakages in air intake system, it is also going to affect the DPF performance. Let us try to understand. In fact, any leakages in these systems DPF doesn't like. So let us assume your air is coming in to the air filter, and then it goes to let us say your mass airflow sensor, O2 sensor, and after the mass airflow sensor, if there is a leakage, then mass airflow sensor has already measured air quantity, and then it has sent a signal to ECU, which will then inject fuel accordingly. But now you have a leakage after the mass airflow sensor. So the amount of air which engine thinks is coming is not actually coming, because part of that is leaking. So you have more of fuel and less of air. So air fuel ratio is disturbed, and you will have improper combustion. That means more soot, more ash. So make sure that all those connections, the rubber hoses, are in good condition. Coolant system, engine coolant system. If there is a leakage in the coolant system, it will also affect the DPF performance. Something which I missed out earlier on lube oil is some of the lube oil may not be compatible with the material of oil seals which is installed in the turbocharger. Now, if the oil seals deteriorate because of an incompatible lube oil, that oil will leak into the exhaust system, and again you have more of ash deposited into the DPF. Next is turbocharger. If the turbocharger blades are fouled, turbine and blower side both, then it will not make enough air pressure which is required for a good combustion. So if combustion is not good, you have more soot, more ash. Next is the DPF itself. If you remember the animation we saw before, there are two tappings, one before and one after the DPF, which go to a pressure transmitter. So basically what it does, it is measuring the pressure before DPF and pressure of gas after the DPF. It compares at the pressure transmitter, and then it tells ECU what is the condition of the DPF. Let us say there is a leakage in these lines, these connections. Then the pressure transmitter will measure wrong. It will assume that the DPF is choked, which is actually not, and then it will take action accordingly. It will tell ECU maybe to request a regeneration, or it may put the engine in limp mode. So you can see that it is very important to take good care of your engine. Make sure air system, exhaust system, lubrication system, coolant system, all these are in good condition. There are no leakages, parts are renewed on time. Follow the maker's maintenance schedule and you will be happy. I hope you like this video. If you have any feedback on the video, any suggestion for making any other video covering any other topic or anything else, please put down in the comment box. I'll be waiting for your responses. Your support is very important for me because it encourages me to bring in more informative content. I hope you liked this video. If you have any feedback on this video, any suggestion, or if you want me to cover any other topic, please let me know in the comment box below. I'll be waiting for your responses. That's all for today. See you soon in the next video. Till that time, stay safe. Goodbye.